This is a Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. I'm really excited. It's literally just come in now. I've actually got it on my wrist already, and I've got to say, first impressions of the design are really, really good. Initially, from the renders and leaks that I saw, I was a little bit worried. I thought it was actually looking a little bit on the cheaper side of things, but now I've got it here in person. One, it really does look quite nice, and two, it feels good. The materials used on it do genuinely feel premium, and they really do match up with Samsung's classic naming convention. Now, what I'm also going to do is show you exactly how I've set up my Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. I'm going to show you some really cool watch faces to go with it. I'm also going to take you through the unboxing process and answer some of the difficult questions around things like battery life, and we are of course going to compare it to the Galaxy Watch Ultra as well. Stay tuned. So let's get to unboxing the Watch 8 Classic. Really nice box this year. We get your Watch 8 Classic device itself, an included hybrid strap. So this is leather and I guess rubber. It means you don't really need to switch out your strap when you're doing workouts or going into the office, for example. So below that, we've got your watch charger. Now this just attaches to the back of the Galaxy Watch like so. Really simple and easy to use. Although, top tip, I definitely recommend you pick up one of these. This is a stand from Spigen. It should support pretty much every Galaxy Watch possible actually. It just works very simply like that. Your included charger just goes in the back like so. It's a very cheap, simple way of actually adding a little bit more utility to your watch, but also it means you don't have to faff about trying to navigate the straps around your charger. It's a really neat little device. Well, it's not even a device, it's a stand. I'll put a link to that in the pinned comment if you want to buy one for yourself. So that's really all there is to it, to the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic unboxing. So now I'm going to show you how to set up your brand new Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. I'm also going to explore some of the new features of the Galaxy Watch 8, and we're going to talk about some of the drawbacks and also go through my top tips and tricks for getting started with a new Galaxy Watch. Also, do help me out and leave a like and subscribe if you are enjoying the content. So to get started, you are going to need your phone with a little bit of charge in it. I'd recommend popping the strap on now as well. It's meant to be a simple push and click in, but for some reason I really struggle with this in comparison to my Galaxy Watch Ultra. They have changed the straps this year, so Galaxy Watch 8 and Galaxy Watch 8 Classic straps are different to the Galaxy Watch Ultra. But if you have a Galaxy Watch Ultra 2025, those straps will work with a 2024 Galaxy Watch Ultra and vice versa. Now I've got my strap on, so I'm going to press and hold the top button on the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic to turn it on. And this next part is just super easy. Just make sure your Bluetooth is turned on your phone, and then it's just a case of pressing yes on your phone a few times to allow various permissions. Consider whether you're replacing your old watch at this point, or in my case, being a tech reviewer, I still actually intend to use my Galaxy Watch Ultra, so I've gone for a completely clean install rather than transferring everything from my old watch and replacing my Galaxy Watch Ultra. I have, however, at this point selected to bring over all of my apps, so it's copied everything like WhatsApp over onto my new watch for me. It saves me a little bit of time there. So your watch will go through a couple of different updates and whatnot, and that's the boring part out of the way. So now this is the fun part. This is the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic all turned on in all its glory. We've got One UI 8, which has brought quite a few changes. We've got multi-data tiles now, which are nice, but I have to admit they're probably a little bit harder to read at a quick glance. Don't know what your thoughts are on this. We've also got a complete visual overhaul of the App Store. This is all straight now as opposed to a little bit jumbled like it's been in the past. I think I kind of preferred the old one, if I'm honest, but it's not really a major change that's going to affect your life. I really do like the colors and the fresh visual overhaul of One UI 8 overall, but I'm not convinced it's more practical. I'm going to have to do a little bit more testing on that and see what my thoughts are. Anyway, before we go and visit all of the new features of the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic, there's a few things I'm actually going to get you to do first. If you swipe down from the top, go to Settings, click the little cog icon here, and then the Buttons and Gestures section, I want you to map your most frequently used exercise to this middle button, or the quick button as Samsung call it. You could also map an app if you're not particularly athletic. I always have mine set to start a running workout, so on a double press, it starts a run. You will need to map it to Samsung Health, which is done by default, and then you need to assign a specific exercise. You want to press the little cog icon again and then choose your exercise. I'd also recommend tapping the action setting here and changing it to the double press. This just kind of stops you from pressing this button accidentally. If you do want to map an app, it's exactly the same process. Just choose what app you want instead of Samsung Health and go from there. Usually I stop here, but you can go ahead and assign shortcuts to the other buttons if you want in the same manner, but definitely scroll down and turn on the double pinch gesture. This was a new one with the Galaxy Watch Ultra, and it's the only one I actually used on my Galaxy Watch Ultra. It's just handy for dismissing notifications on the fly without having to press any buttons or tap anything on your screen. It's temperamental, I will admit, but it's a really nice to have. The others, again, it's completely up to you if you have them on, but I really like to keep things simple with the Galaxy Watch. I like the top button being my assistant and the bottom one being my back button. So now we're going to maximize the results that you can get from your Galaxy Watch 8 Classic at the expense of battery life, I will be honest. But I do think with it being a smartwatch and the whole purpose of a smartwatch is to monitor your health, I think it's best to have this feature on for the most accurate health results. So still in your settings, go to your Samsung Health, ensure you're not in battery saving mode or you won't be able to change these settings. And under heart rate, I'd actually tap on measure continuously. It's just going to give you a little bit of a better idea of your overall health throughout the day. Don't do this if you struggle to find a good time to charge your watch. I've got my routine absolutely nailed down, so I'm confident that I can get through a full day, even 2 days in some cases, without having to charge the watch. I'd also definitely recommend continuous stress tracking as well here. This is another huge health indicator, and Samsung's AI actually uses this to help give you an energy score and things like that as well, so really important one to have on in my opinion. Now we'll also go to how to measure different things on your Galaxy Watch 8 Classic, and first I'm going to go through body composition. It's a really powerful tool, especially if you're on a little bit of a weight loss journey. It'll break down your body fat percentage, water and muscle for you. You will need to weigh yourself before you use this feature every single time, and you will need to input your weight and height at the very beginning. There are a few ways that you can get to this feature. You can do it via the tiles like so, or if you can't find a tile, simply swipe up from the bottom of your screen to go to the app drawer, tap Samsung Health icon, and then scroll down to body composition. You'll then want to stand up nice and still and follow the on-screen instructions. Next up is the brand new antioxidant feature. This measures the antioxidants in your blood. Really cool feature, but it is still in labs mode, so not 100% reliable, so just something to bear in mind. Same situation as body composition, simply use one of the tiles or swipe up from the bottom, tap Samsung Health and scroll to antioxidant index and then tap measure. Then you're going to want to place your thumb over the sensor with your watch face down, and it will then mention your phone, but you don't necessarily need it. The phone just helps you see the progress of the measurement so you know when to stop. But there is actually a vibration prompt from the watch as well, so if you don't have your phone to hand, you can just do this and wait for the watch to vibrate so you know when to take your thumb off it. Next, if you do want to measure your heart rate, exactly the same process. Find your tile, go to Samsung Health and tap heart rate. If you've got continuous heart rate monitoring on, you don't really need to do this anyway. You just need to go to the tile and see what it's saying, and it'll give you the latest result. So it's exactly the same for SpO2 monitoring. Either use a tile or go to Samsung Health and it's a little blue water drop icon. Tap that and you'll be able to take a manual measurement there. If you are wanting to measure your stress, it's exactly the same. Find a tile, Samsung Health, scroll to stress, and then you probably won't see a measure icon if you have selected to have stress continuously monitoring throughout the day. Now there is one last brand new feature available on your Galaxy Watch 8 and Watch 8 Classic that I want to talk about, and that is the new Vascular load feature. I will need to test this thoroughly, so do wait for my full review on this, but basically what it does, it'll take your baseline over say 3 nights sleep to get set up, and then it will compare your results from that over time to see if you're under any more stress than usual. It's just another really good indicator of your overall health that you can compare to other things within Samsung Health to get an idea of how your body is doing. Now, there is a few other things that you can monitor with your Samsung Galaxy Watch 8, the two prominent ones being ECG and your blood pressure. I don't actually have a blood pressure machine to calibrate it at the moment, but if you did want to use this feature, you just need to go to your Samsung Health Monitor app and then you'll see the option there. You will need your phone nearby for this as well. It's exactly the same for ECG, although you won't actually need to calibrate this. You can find it through the Samsung Health Monitor app, and it's the one with a little funky line through it. Once you click on that, you'll see 3 options: your ECG, your blood pressure, and then sleep apnea, which I'd also recommend turning on. Tap your ECG and then follow the on-screen instructions. Once you're all done, you'll see the results on your phone, and then you can save out or even export that graph to send to your GP or just keep for your personal records. Now that's all the manual stuff out of the way, but there's actually so much going on automatically behind the scenes with the Galaxy Watch 8 that really does make a difference. The most prominent one is your new energy score feature. This came out last year and is a really important one. It essentially takes every single bit of data that your Galaxy Watch collects over time to give you a score for that day. It might tell you to take it easy if you've overtrained, for example, or it might tell you the next day to get out a little bit more. It's a really powerful feature and one that I rely on a lot now, but it does rely heavily on your sleep tracking, which is the next big feature that kind of automatically goes on in the background of your Galaxy Watch 8. I'd really recommend making use of sleep tracking, and my top tip for getting started with sleep tracking is a lot of people find it really difficult to actually sleep with a smartwatch on. Just push through your first 1 to 2 weeks and it'll become second nature. That's exactly what I do with my Galaxy Watch Ultra, and I don't even notice it now, and that is significantly larger than the Galaxy Watch 8 and Watch 8 Classic. Another great tip for sleep tracking as well, if you swipe down from the top and tap this little icon, this is your sleep mode. This essentially blocks notifications on your watch and also stops the screen from coming on during the night and waking you up. It will also block notifications on your phone, essentially putting everything into a do not disturb mode. So sleep is a real must-have feature on the Galaxy Watch, and you will realize just how much the watch depends on this data to help with everything else that's going on. It even helps with your ages index, another new feature that came out last year. This essentially helps determine your biological age, so it's a really good longevity marker, and much like the new vascular load feature, it's just a really good indicator of your overall health and well-being. So now that you've done all that, there's one other important thing that you really need to set up now, just to save yourself some hassle in the future, and that is your card payments. The Galaxy Watch 8 Classic does of course come with NFC, meaning you can make card payments directly from your watch. The only caveat to this is that you will need to set up a PIN for your screen. It's not as bad as it sounds initially, because actually what the watch will do, it'll only lock itself once it comes off your wrist, so it's not too inconvenient, but still a little bit annoying. Either way, setting up payments is just essential for your Galaxy Watch because it's just a really great quality of life hack. To do this, just head over to Samsung Wallet, make sure you've got your phone near you, and follow the on-screen instructions. It'll take around about 5 minutes, if that, to get all set up. Even more important than payments though is Galaxy Watch faces. So how do you install a Galaxy Watch face on your Watch 8 Classic and Galaxy Watch 8? So we've got a lovely selection of watch faces this year from Samsung. If you go to the Galaxy Wear app, you'll see a ton of default watch faces. Just tap one, and I'd recommend the Heritage Classic if you do have the Watch 8 Classic. It'll download and then it'll just appear on your watch. It really is as simple as that. The great thing about the official watch faces is that a lot of them come with this new night mode, which was introduced during the One UI 7 release, and basically what it'll do, it'll automatically put your watch face into a night mode, which is a lot easier on the eyes during nighttime. Do make sure you're subscribed as well, because I've got tons of watch face content on this channel. So now we're all set up and we've got a nice watch face on, a very nice watch face in fact. Let's talk a little bit more about the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic and my first impressions. So I haven't even mentioned the staple piece, which is that rotating bezel. It's so nice to have it back, but I actually think I preferred a more subtle bezel like we had on the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic or even the Galaxy Watch 3 before that. I'm also noticing that there's a little bit less resistance on it. It feels really smooth, but almost too smooth in some cases. It doesn't quite have that satisfying clunk that Galaxy Watches really used to have. And then we move on to the display, which hasn't actually changed too much, but the brightness will now reach up to 3000 nits, a little bit of an increase over the last series, which reached up to 2000 nits, I believe. This is now in line with the Ultra series, both the 2024 and 2025 version, so really great upgrade there. And then speaking about the Galaxy Watch Ultra, here it is side by side with the brand new Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. The key differences are of course the size. The Watch 8 Classic is lighter, sleeker, and possibly even a little bit more comfortable. And then we of course have that staple rotating bezel we've just had a look at. But we also have a much smaller screen, which comes in at 34mm, and the whole watch is around 46mm in size, whilst the Watch Ultra is 47mm, and its display size is around 38mm, so quite a big difference there. And the sort of screen to body ratio on the Watch 8 Classic isn't actually that great when you add the numbers up. And when we look at them side by side, you really can notice that after over a year with the Watch Ultra, the Classic really does feel quite small to me now. What comes alongside this though is a new flatter design of the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. There is meant to be a slight improvement in accuracy even over the Galaxy Watch Ultra, since the Galaxy Watch 8 can now sit a little bit closer to your skin now. Again, I will test this thoroughly in the future, so do make sure you're subscribed for my full review on the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. Classic. Anyway, moving on, both the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic and Watch Ultra come with GPS and even LTE functionality if you do go for that option with the Watch 8 Classic. The Ultra does come with it by default, so something to consider when you're putting them against each other. Then the major one now though is the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic battery life and how it compares to the Galaxy Watch Ultra. So Samsung state up to 30 hours with always on display enabled for the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic and up to 60 hours with AOD enabled for the Galaxy Watch Ultra. But because I've had so much time with the Galaxy Watch Ultra, I don't actually need to go off what Samsung says. I can give you the real life results. Generally, or typically with the Galaxy Watch Ultra, I'm getting around 2 days. That is my safe zone. Sometimes I can go a little bit past that, and that's with normal to, I guess you could say, heavy usage. I'm really into my running at the moment, but I know that I can rely on the Galaxy Watch Ultra. From years of testing Galaxy Watches though, I know that Samsung's claims tend to be a little bit over-exaggerated. So I'm really looking forward to testing out the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic thoroughly and seeing just how long that battery can actually last. But the big takeaway for this though is that despite me not having tested the Watch 8 Classic thoroughly yet, there is obviously going to be a big difference between the two watches, and I think I'm going to really struggle taking my Galaxy Watch Ultra off to test the Watch 8 Classic. Unfortunately, Samsung just haven't updated the battery or the charging speeds for over a year now, and to be honest, I didn't think that they would. There are rumors of solid state batteries coming out, but I think this is going to be a 2026 and beyond type of thing, so do expect big jumps in those years to come. Overall though, the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic has piqued my interest. I don't think it's a bad watch at all. First impressions are relatively good. Concerns lie in battery life, and coming from a Galaxy Watch Ultra, the display size also does bother me a little, but big improvements to comfort and practicality this year. And of course with One UI, it's brought a refreshing design overhaul and some additional health tracking features, which I think are really exciting and I'm really looking forward to exploring. Toughest thing about buying a new Galaxy Watch though is obviously finding a good watch face. So do click in the link in the top left or right hand corner now to go to my latest episode of Watch Face Wars. For now though, I've been Alex and this has been Tech It Easy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.